everybody. Welcome to the final day of our week on Live at 5-ish. I'm Kathryn. I'm going to be with you today, hosting you through. And this is our team, the squad that we've got. The rest of them are off doing a certification course, putting PAC into the world. So all week, we have been talking about identifying gems, gem states. We've gotten to how many teams? Tell me what we've looked at so far this week.
Emerald,
sapphire,
diamonds,
ambers. Ooh, so we've gotten almost all the way around that circle of beauty. What's left?
rubies and pearls.
Rubies and pearls. So let's real quick review. There's Amanda. Let's review. What do we know about rubies? And let's think again, what are the primary things we've been looking for and talking about that we notice when we're doing gems identification?
That visual field.
Visual field.
Where we think they're being able to see.
What they're paying attention to, what they can actually see. Yeah.
Yep.
Some of the verbal cues as to rhythm that they speak for, how many words that they use.
How many words they're using, their rhythm. Also,
what they're taking in.
What can they take in? What kind of comprehension do they have? Cool. And what else? We're going to do this. What is it?
Their dexterity, their touch skills. So it's that
touch, movement. Is it skill or is it strength?
Yeah.
More one, combination. And the fourth one we've been talking about, which is a little weird because it's not something you think about all that.
Pace, but it really is. It's a function of processing speed. It's how fast they can go with all those things.
How long does it take for them to process, take in that data, process it, and then let whatever that brain decides is an appropriate or it thinks is appropriate response is. So how's that speed? Great. So let's talk about rubies. So on the stoplight sequence, what is a ruby?
Stop. Stop.
So what do we know about rubies? And let's look at it from kind of these, it's hard to do, these four.
Well, they have monocular vision.
Right, they have monocular vision. So what is the big shift from binocular to monocular? What's the big thing that shifts when you move to that?
Depth perception.
Depth perception, yeah. It's like, how long till I get to that? Also, the visual field gets really small. What else do we know?
I think with the verbal, it's all the skill of verbal seems to have stopped.
So the skill side, the left side, the skill on the left side, mostly, that's mostly not there. But what do we look for?
All the strengths of the sounds. So it's whether it's comprehension or it's speech production, I have very clear words that have a lot of emotional ties to them. My name.
So you still get your name.
So my name, I've got songs, sometimes not with the words, sometimes just humming.
So we got music over here on that left side. So this is where when we get to rubies and pearls, we really can rely on those the rhythmic aspects of language. Cool. What about?
Yeah, kind of in the same vein of what Beth is saying, if it's a motion that I've done a thousand times, it's something that if you show me the first time and I can get into the habit of the routine, even if it's something like drinking whole hand grasp or eating whole hand grasp, if you get me started or show me how, and then my body remembers how to do it. So that automatic movement.
Yeah, that automatic movement is still there. It's just really getting started. And sometimes it might work and sometimes it might not. But we know rubies.
No skill.
Strength. Yeah, like what Amanda said. Can you hold it with strength? And what about processing speed or pace? What do you think the time is about?
3 or 4 seconds. It sometimes depends on the person, but we're talking.
Well, of course, it depends on the environment, the person, the time of day, all those things we've kind of been identifying that gems are not just a gem.
Yeah.
There's some fluidity to it.
Yeah.
Cool. So what I'd like to do is share a video. I know we've probably seen this before. I know we have, but I think it's endlessly useful. One of our favorite gems, John. Oh, it's not doing it. Come on, Bubba. All right. John. So again, we're going to be watching not just us, but you out there in Facebook world, looking for those. What is he paying attention to? What kind of cues is he understanding? What kind of verbal is he giving? What is he able to do? Or how is he expressing himself physically? And what is his processing speed?
Hey, John, I want you to clean right here. Right there. Reach up here. And clean it off. That's it.
Notice?
Now let's do this side. That's real sensitive. Here you go. Let's see this cloth. Let me warm it up a little bit. Nope.
What's he holding on to? Just keep noticing that kind of thing. Where are his hands? Where is he paying attention?
There you go. That's it. And you hold on to me and let's wipe it. There you go.
Kathryn, can you pause? This is a cool moment.
Sure.
So, as there's, I mean, obviously, we want to go back to the visual verbal touch. But I think with this one, it becomes so very clear, and I don't want people to be distressed watching it. When Tipa's hands are in his lap, and we've got someone who has, the skill is gone of really assessing and figuring out what's going on, taking in all those clues around me, whether they're verbal or what else. She has her hands in his lap, and she tries something with her other hand. Interestingly enough, it is not Tipa's hands that are holding her hand down in his lap. And I think that's just real critical. We'll see that and think Tipa held his hands out and then just got to his face.
Yeah.
So it's just a little nuance there. So there was so much to cover in that. So I wanted to pause on that.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you, Beth. So it's noticing those nuances of the feedback. Who's actually giving feedback? How are they negotiating? I see this as a real dance.
Yeah, there's
a real.
Right before that moment, Tipa actually says no. And it's so interesting because anybody who has watched her for years knows that she is verbalizing the feedback that he is giving her.
Yeah, it's
and
not
it's
her
so
telling him
cool.
no.
It's not her saying no. He didn't say anything.
No,
She's
you're not
saying,
liking this.
No.
Okay.
I get it. I get your message. No. We're going to do it, but we're going to do it in a way that you can hold on to me here. So that's just a cool recognition.
Can you tolerate this? So this is the really beautiful skill you're seeing of validation or reflection. She's verbalizing what she is getting from John that he is not saying in his Ruby state.
Yeah,
Cool.
Kathryn, so maybe we could do that verbal piece right now. I mean, I was noticing how few words.
Right.
And how much pause was after every single word.
Yeah. So you know what? That gives me a good, you know what? This is pretty much, it goes on. So we'll just skip through it a little bit. I think, you don't want me to skip? Everybody with the
Just be careful.
thing?
Be careful. When you skip in a PowerPoint video, they mess up for some reason. So just
All right,
be
thank you.
careful.
I'm not going to skip. We're going to really indulge in John. Thank you.
Yeah. Here. Now you can do it. Let's wipe it up here. Wipe.
Visually notice.
There. There. How's that? Better? John, is that better? I don't know. Well, it looks better. How's that?
His first words.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, so
I love that you just said I love that, because I think that's really important for our Rubies, especially, and for viewers, that this is their first exposure to a Ruby. I'm just really curious, Kathryn, because that's something that PAC says all the time when we see this video. Can you tell people why you're saying I love this? Because I'm so glad you said that.
well, the thing is, I think a lot of people would, it's so hard to see that he's participating in it. When we get to our Rubies and Pearls, it's so hard to recognize that they are a part of this. And I also love it if the lesson of, I'll ask you. So Tiba asked him the same question twice.
Yeah.
Did he seem to be taking in the first time? She just said, is that better? What was he visually doing when she asked that first time?
Looking away from her.
Mm-hmm.
And so
He had been, yeah.
It was
But then what did she do? What is our big lesson right here? What skill? It seems so simple, but it is so important.
Well, our positive physical approach, she said, John.
John.
She said his name. That's all she had to do was say his name. And what did he do? He engaged.
How did she say his name is the other part. It's not just John or John. It was John.
With a question mark at the end.
With a question mark at the end. Yeah, it's so much skill, and we just miss it all because it looks like magic.
Is that better? And what happened?
I don't know. He answered.
But was he answered the best he could. He used, how many words did he use?
3.
3.
Yeah.
And where did those maybe come from? Which side of his brain?
Just really that right.
Temporal, right.
But did it give him a connection, and part of that interaction, did that become a place where we did this together? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's the task here is such an uncomfortable one. He had oatmeal dried on his beard, and it's so painful. And I think if someone asked me after I got a flu shot, so is that better? I'm not sure how I'd answer that. I'd be like, well, I mean, I don't know if it's better. I know intellectually I need to get my flu shot, but I can't really say it. I think he gave a great answer, for such a painful, nasty task.
And was he even looking in the mirror?
No.
No, so how would he know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Even there's a little bit of like, well, that's a dumb question. I mean, like, to me, there's like that thing that there's like, he is expressing himself with 3 simple words that are, probably a bit of social chit chat, but he's able to participate.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to go to Pearl, kind of do the same exercise. And then I want to look at, where are they similar and where are they different? What are we noticing? Okay, so let's talk about Pearls. Let's go to our 4, what visually they pay attention to, what kind of vision they have, abilities out and in auditory language, skills or strength, and processing time, speed, pace. So what do we know about Pearls?
I'll start with the vision, and then you guys can take the other one. I think with Pearls, for me, it really becomes so clear. It is literally only one thing at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So visual field, while it's monocular at best, no depth perception, but if anything else is going on, a song, a taste, a blanket being moved, I can't also do visual. So
one thing at a time.
One part of processing at a time. So if anything else, auditory, physical, any kind of stimulation is going on, I probably can't pay very much attention to it. So I'm going to shut my primary way of taking in data down a little bit.
Right.
What about this one?
Hardly any words, right? Not
Not
much.
too many words, but what can work?
Music
music,
and rhythm stuff. Yeah.
rhythm, all that. We're going back. Look where we're hanging out, man. We're hanging out over here. That's a teaser. Guess where we're going next week? Hanging out over here. Next week, we're hanging out in the right temporal lobe. This again. All right. So what about skill, strength?
So I think this is where we get to finally see what the body's been doing for a long time. It's that it's moving towards strength and muscles on. So this is where that contractures start to show externally as well as internally. You'll see that building and turning inward at this moment.
Why do you think the body at this state starts to turn inward? When else in life does our body do that, and why?
I'm not, that's a great question. The thing that comes to mind, and this is where you're going, is I see it actually when I see neurological injuries on the football field. I have a hard time watching football now because if I see a real stinger and I see a guy do this when he goes down, it's really hard to watch. So we know that when the sensory motor strip at that point is so unskilled, it's all the strength of the muscles. These ones are stronger than these ones. So I will pull in here. So these.
And what are you doing? Why are you pulling in? What are you?
You're trying to protect.
Well, it's
protecting your absolute vital organs. There's only one vital organ that you pretty much can't protect this way. Which one is that?
Actually, it's two, because you can't protect your skin.
Your
either.
skin. Oh, yeah. Oh gosh, Shelley, you are right. I'm so sorry. I didn't think about it.
I'm kind of obsessed with skin.
Okay, that's another week. We're good there. Thank you, Shelley. You've given us topics for another week. Yeah, so that's protecting that vital organs when you don't have as much skill. For instance, what position are infants born in? I'm not at all comparing adults who have had a full life to an infant, but that's the basic thing. Is an infant is born protecting its inner, this thing it's been protecting. That's the thing that's growing, developing. They develop the exterior first, that sort of ectoskeleton thing, and then all these things are the parts that are getting made. So it's that I don't have as much skill anymore. So my big skill is, I can protect this. So let's pace.
Yeah, we're doing, if Ruby's
processing
6 seconds, could be 10.
Could at least, could be up to. So let's go ahead and have a look at Edna again. I love Edna, and I will tell you why too if you ask me. Okay, nope, not him. Next one. I mean, I love him too. Ooh. There we go.
This side. We're going to start with this side. And I know it's not the most comfortable thing, is it? Let me go to the other side and see if that works better. Let's try the other side. Okay? We're going to try over here.
Notice what her visual is.
Here we go.
Pay attention to.
Let's brush. Ah. I know. Here you go. I know. Edna, let's brush your teeth. Here you go. Got it? Open. Ah. Open. That's it. You got it. Yeah. Perfect.
I'm trying so hard to help her and do it with her.
You're doing good. Let's do this side. Yeah, that's a lot, isn't it? Here we go. Nice work. There you go. Okay, let's get this side.
Notice the eyes. Physically, what is she doing?
Nice job, Edna. That's a lot, isn't it?
Look at this.
Let me get a little bit more moisture.
Tracking.
Oh,
Now watch the eyes again.
open. There you go.
Hey, Kathryn, can
Nice
we pause
work.
for a minute? We have a really good question on Facebook right now from Carrie. So people on Facebook who know PAC stuff, good on you. Why not hand under hand? Yeah, this seems like a great time to do some hand under hand work. So what did we talk about a little bit with someone in a pearl state? What's happening with their hands and arms?
They're contracting.
And something that we didn't tell you about Edna is actually she's had another physical mobility issue that does not allow her the use of her dominant hand for many years. So Tifa actually started on her new dominant side.
And it didn't work.
It didn't work. She shifted over to her dominant side. But is that hand physically mobile? No. So where did you notice? So here's what I'll tell you. She did hand under hand.
She had her. Another.
Could you pull it back up, Kathryn, and let's look at the visual and see how do you adapt hand under hand for someone in a pearl state? Because it is really different. Ooh, that's a good visual there. But yeah, we'll go back where we can see a little bit more. Cool. Okay, right there. Great pause.
Yeah.
So what this actually is joint to joint.
Yeah.
Elbow to elbow. Because, and you can try this at home with somebody else. Pull your hands in like this. Have them put their elbow to your elbow. Close your eyes and see if they're using their right hand on your right side. See if you can find the moment when they get near your mouth. When they lift something to you as if you were going to take a bite.
Yeah.
Because what's really cool is that our bodies, when connected by joints, do a really good job of showing us that automatic autonomic movement that Kathryn was talking about earlier on that right temporal lobe. Great question on Facebook.
Great
Thanks.
question. Love it. And we've got other videos that can show you that even another time. Oh my God, there's so much to do. All right, so let's go back to finishing this up. Finishing up because there's a really important piece. I'll go like that when it happens because it's almost impossible to, anyway, you'll see. Let's go. Let's go a little forward.
Nice job, Edna. That's a lot, isn't it? Let me get a little bit more moisture.
And watch the eyes.
Here you go. Open.
Oh, how fast that is now.
You can see
There you
that
go.
connection right there.
Nicely done.
Oh.
Nicely done. That's it. Nicely done.
Right there.
Yeah. Nice connection.
What does that say to me when Tipa says, huh? Something came out of her mouth.
Softest little sound.
A sound when she asked, nicely done. Huh.
Huh?
That's why there are two reasons I love this. I'm sorry, go ahead. I shouldn't be telling you right now. I should be asking questions.
You know, it's Kathryn, I love it because you're talking about the things that it sounds like you're seeing as well. Is the thing that I really strikes me about this is the value of communication through eye contact and eye gaze for pearls. And we talk about pearls this way, and it's, you know, the way it looks sometimes is just this.
that kind of that one eye openish,
Their eyes are
sometimes a little.
Yeah. And so when you actually have a pearl, there are a moment when they open their eyes and engage with you with eyes, It's the loudest yell possible.
But when did Edna engage with Teepa?
Oh, which time?
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
there was the time that her eyes that I said, watch,
Wow. Yeah.
she
Totally
was tracking Teepa because it looked like a lot of her eyes were closed. A lot of that care time were pretty much, she was sort of shutting that down for a good bit. But when Teepa gave her a compliment and then said, I'm going to get some more moisture, she looked right up. She tracked Teepa all the way. She tracked her back. And then when it started again, and here's to me the beauty that that camera captured is who misses that?
Oh,
Not on purpose, not
Yeah.
on purpose, but we could miss. That shell is, ooh, in self-care.
there was so many layers of skill there too, Kathryn. The one thing that also strikes me is the color that Teepa's wearing. She's wearing a bright color that contrasts well with her skin. You know, there's like you rarely will see somebody in PAC that has a darker complexion wearing black or navy. So when I really love my black and I love my dark gray, I checked in with Teepa and she said, because my contrast is so strong, I'll get away with it. But if I had a much darker skin tone, I would have to really watch, because can someone differentiate my facial expressions and my body? Can they see that? And I
Yeah.
thought that was
So
really
it's like,
for her. So
yeah, like you wearing beige might
Yeah.
not be the best.
would not be a good choice for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Any other things that you guys noticed about Edna participating in her care? Did she participate? Oh, did anyone count how many seconds? I was using my fingers. I don't know what people could see. How long it took from that original open?
What looked like resisting, but she's not. She's trying to figure out how to open her mouth.
Yes, because she's going
She's like,
about
What 10?
how long did that take? Does anybody count?
I
It's
didn't.
actually, I counted 13.
whoa.
Yeah, I thought it was
But
long.
what happened when her brain processed?
Yeah.
Did her brain have an aha moment?
Mhm.
Yeah, and Amanda just did it. She absolutely like, oh, now I know. What? She turns right into it. She turns into her care. And does she keep like saying, I need a little break. Let me figure this out. Okay, and I'm coming back again.
Cool.
So now what I'd like to talk about, anybody else, anything else? Now, just a real quick comparison. Really quick, what do you notice is similar and different about John and Edna? Because it's right on that edge of, why do we make a differentiation between Ruby and Pearl? Or what did you notice a bit? Because this is where people are starting to really fluctuate a bit in a more probably obvious way. I'm not making assumptions, but
You know, I think one of the most striking
or
things,
less obvious way. I'm sorry, less obvious.
one of the most striking things in terms of Ruby versus Pearl is you can see that the struggle the brain is having to connect with the nerves of the body to control the muscles. And yet when you look at John, he looks like, if he did the same thing of turning his face away, he almost looks like he's doing it deliberately, even though he's not. But there's more skill in the way that I hold my face. So I don't have to do this to figure out how to open my jaw.
Right.
And John doesn't as a Ruby either. John, once he gets it, he'll go from, and he can open his jaw. So there's so much ability still there with Rubies that you
There's-
don't see with Pearl.
Yeah, so it's really hard to detect, but he actually has more, still has a little bit of fine motor. He's a little more body conscious. I don't know if you noticed his posture, even though
Yeah.
I know Edna has a different thing.
Yeah, but still.
He's not, what was the difference in just their physical appearance?
Mhm.
Yeah, Edna was definitely,
Yeah, all pulled in.
Now- again, this is variable with whatever other pre-existing or things they're dealing with.
Mhm.
What did you notice about the difference between John and Edna visually?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
his eyes were open all the time, where hers were struggling.
Yeah, she was just really needing to shut down her eyeballs. Now, John was definitely focused,
Yeah.
but he was taking in visual data the whole time.
Mhm.
And then what about this?
Nothing really with Edna, but he still had some capability.
He still had a little bit of rhythmic, a little bit of social chit chat or rhythmic and all that. But did Edna still have something?
She did. She had that sound.
Ooh.
It makes us excited.
And here's what makes me wonder too, is we're looking at that ruby and that pearl during care. That's probably the reason people was there, is because they're not comfortable with it, and it's not something that's easy to get done with them. So what are their abilities if it was just about connecting?
Yeah. Cool.
Everybody got a beautiful ruby and pearl in their life?
Not yet.
And now, is it worth just taking that extra time to get connected?
Sure.
Yeah, because gosh, I like to look at these videos which look like, you know, you could interpret them a whole different way if you didn't have some awareness and knowledge and maybe even some skill. But when we look at them through the PAC lens, the abilities, these are my favorites. Because boy, if you really take that tiny bite, oh, they still got it.
Cool.
Well, thanks everybody. This was our week of Gems ID, and next week we have a whole new thing coming. Next week's gonna be, what did I say it's about?
Okay.
Rhythm on the right. Retain. What do we retain? That's it. And also, let me share my screen again. We've got some really fun stuff coming up next week. Some really, let's see. Wait, not that one. We have our every other week occurring Brain Connection Cafe. That's on Monday from 3 to 4. That's for any brain at any state. All of us are welcome. Anybody's welcome. 3 to 4. We have our virtual 3-day consulting certification course. Come and get it. I think this might be our final one for the year. Is that accurate?
I think so.
Maybe.
I believe so.
Maybe, not sure. But
There's one in
there's still
December,
room.
but it's the next one for a long time.
That's right.
Yeah, so come and get it. These virtual courses are going really, really well. We are really figuring out how to make it work. And what's really cool is it's only 4 hours at a time. And there is room left. So that's the 25th, which would be Tuesday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern time. We have one of our final group consultations for families with TIPA. With TIPA, bring your challenge, and TIPA will help you figure it out. Help you try some new skills, whether it's just for you or others that are on the call. That's on the 26th from 3 to 5. That's Wednesday, 3 to 5 Eastern time. And very exciting, today we just finished our first monthly round of champion courses. Next Friday starts our next round. Champion, which is really skill-based, is learning PPA, or positive physical approach, how you get connected personally, how do you get started? And it goes all the way through GEM. There's a series of 4. You can join just one, you can join 2, you can do all 4 in a row, but they really are nice in a sequence. And it starts next Friday is our first champion level 1. That's Friday 10 to 12. We also, hold on.
I'm excited.
There's also the conference. We are still registering people for the conference. Shelley, do you have anything to share about that right now?
No, just come and enjoy it and sign up for it. I mean, no, not for that. But I have something else.
Tell me, Shelley.
Well, it just came out today. We have the GEMS app on Android phones. So if you want to learn more about what we've been talking about all week, you can download it for free on your Android phone. Apple's coming soon.
Very
So don't ask us when it's coming. It's coming soon. We will let you know. But it's on your phone now. It's for free, and it's truly amazing. I've been using it as a test for quite a while. I love it. So download it this week.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for sharing that, Shelley. Time is coming to an end. Have a great week. I hope we see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to help us spread TIPA's positive approach message around the world. And don't forget to click the bell to get notified when new videos are posted.